So and then so yeah, and then that would happen to her for months and months and months on end before they finally got caught. They finally got caught. After a while they actually killed her. After a while they killed her. When they got caught, after a while they actually killed her, and they displayed her body in a cage, in the same cage, in the same glass configuration. They displayed it in there. After she died, they went inside her, dug out all her organs, harvested all her organs, um, and then they basically put this stuff in her to make her body stiff. So this is where you be seeing them like the mummies in the museum, or you be seeing them like real live figures in the museum, and it's like they look like real people, but like they real stiff and whatnot. It's because they put some kind of, I forgot the chemical they put in them to make them look like preserve their body like in this real life like state, but they totally stiff, totally hard. And this what they did to her, and they had her body in this glass case, in this glass configuration, for years. And they wouldn't let nobody get it. They displayed her in the museum. I mean, people could still see her even years after she died. People would come through and just look at her, and she was just on display. She didn't have no clothes on, none. She was still in her. You know what I'm saying? They totally nudified her. You know what I'm saying? The ultimate, degradation. So um the president of Africa, which was Nelson Mandela, before he died, he requested her body. He had been requesting her body to come back home for years, and they wouldn't let him. But finally, like I believe it was 30 years. It was a couple years before Nelson Mandela died. He finally got the request granted, and they shipped her body over to Southern Africa, and she's been there ever since. They still have her body over there. It's still in the glass configuration though, but it's not like for display. Like you can't just go over there and just see her body now. So yep, that was Nelson Mandela did that before he died. So but yeah, that was the very first porn star ever in history. And in the history books and in the history schools, they never told you about that. It's a lot of they never told you about the true history, because you got to understand history is his story. HISTORY, his story. Put it together is history. So history is only a perspective of uh the colonizers' perspective. And colonizers is, they do double speak a lot. So colonizers is just a fancy way to say we came over here, we stole some shit, we pilgrim, we raped, we killed, we slaughtered, to get all what we have now. The palace they over there in, Buckingham Palace, that's our palace. The very first presidents was the Moors. Before you even had George Washington, before you had these so-called Masonic Freemasons, it was the Moors here. The Moors science empire. Before, the Europeans, the Moors ruled Spain for 400 years before the Spaniards and the colonizers and the Europeans invaded. And the only way, well, you could say that it was the fate of the universe for us to go into a sleep state, for us to go into a state where we are now, you could say, at the bottom of the food chain. And I'm not gonna say it's like karma. It's like the law of the universe is karma, because even the Moors, not all the Moors, but it's polarity on this physical. In the universe, all is one. Nothing is without uh uh the other. So it's like all like conjunction in the universe. Everything is one and not without the other. So, but on this physical, you had what we call good Moors and you had bad Moors. So it was some Moors out here who was, they was righteous, and they had integrity and values and character of the Christ, of God, in our natural essence. But then it was some Moors who who fell into their lower nature and their carnal nature. So um they enslaved people too. They enslaved people. They took women just because they could. They took women that wasn't theirs just because they could. You know what I'm saying? We was empowered. So, they did a lot of things that they wasn't supposed to do just because they could. And so now you have this oppression of black people, and you have all these people who doing things just because they can. But in a way, you know, we kind of did it to ourselves because it's karma. We had now we in this state where we got to learn how to rule and power from a place of righteousness and integrity and truth and and compassion and empathy. You know what I'm saying? So it was only right. That's why they said the first shall be last, because we gonna inherit our planet back. This is our rightful domain. The universe, the cosmos, all the planets throughout the galaxy is we rule it. But we had to go through this period of this sleep state, of this oppression state where we had to be ruled, because of what we did. And it wasn't even all of us, but it was some of us. So before we went into the sleep state, they knew, the righteous Moors knew that there was gonna come a time where we will be ruled. So they preserved this knowledge. They took actions and steps to preserve certain knowledge so that one day when we needed it, we could have it. So that's why you have all this knowledge coming out about the true history of before the colonizer came and who was here before the colonizer, the true history of this earth. I mean, we've been here billions and billions and billions of years before there was ever a pale face here, before there was ever a white face here. I mean, this whole planet was just filled with people that, as dark as me and darker. I mean, even these black people that's really light skinned, they call them light skinned black. Even that is a form of us mixing genes with them, us co-creating with them. So now you have this lighter pigment of dark people, which also never was. So when you see the dirt outside, that's carbon. That's carbon. And it's ashes from when they killed us. So when you see this dirt, you seeing remnants and ashes of carbon skin. That's what the dirt is. So that's when they say in the biblical text, God made us, molded us out of clay, out of dirt. No, that's carbon. That's remnants of carbon. When you eat a bag of Cheetos, when you eat a bag of hot chips, and then you finish all the hot chips and you got them crumbs left, you got that powder, that dust left. That's what it is. That's what the dirt is. Remnants of this carbon flesh, this carbon. So I mean, in its highest form is carbon, but it manifests in the 3D physical as melanin. So, carbon is the basis of which all life is formed. Everything that lives was ever created has carbon in it. The galaxy, the cosmos, the stars, the sun, the planets, all life form, animals, people, everything has carbon in it. Carbon is the basis of which all life is formed. Nothing can live, nothing can exist without black people. That's just what it is. In the beginning, there was darkness, there was chaos, there was ether, that was carbon. The triple black, they call it the triple blackness. It's darker than dark is dark. That's how, think about how dark that is. It's like walking into an abyss of darkness and then walking into an even darker abyss than that darkness. Like, damn, how could something get darker than dark? Exactly. That's triple blackness. That's ether. That's carbon. They showed you that in Thor. That was the ether that was inside the girl. So it get real. It get real. Get really deep. So I'll come at y'all. I had to drop this video for y'all today. I ain't been on here in a while now. I ain't even been on while. So come in here and y'all, I got another video for y'all. Just hold on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all eat this up. Y'all think about this. And I'll be back on here. You know what I'm saying? Peace, love, and light. I love everybody. I love y'all too.